I wanted to do part two of the Crimean War here, so I will. But it's going to be really short, unfortunately, because the game didn't want to play the way I wanted it to play. I started a attempt to take over the kingdom of the Two Sicilies, make a protectorate out of them. Why? France is busy unifying Italy the French way. In an earlier video, I talked about how under Napoleon III, France saw itself as the leader among the Latin nations. Well, France is doing that right now. It's already made Sardinia Piedmont a protectorate. It's made one out of Tuscany. It's made one out of Belgium because the British were busy elsewhere. Strike while the British are busy, right? Spain hates France's guts, but make it a rival. We'll deal with them later. They're always good. If they start anything, we're going to get some territory off of them or carve them out. Whatever. We'll deal with that. But we're working on Italy right now because they're weak. And so one of the moves I had France do was to take Parma, made a protectorate out of it. Thought things were going good, and then somehow the Parmese joined with the Two Sicilies. They unified with them. I wasn't consulted on this. So France has got to punish the Two Sicilies. Now, I tried this twice. Once where I tried to make them a protectorate, and the Ottoman Empire backed them, and like, oh boy, this is where I get to talk about the Crimean War and how it plays out, and how I'm going to do this to make Russia happy and do that to make Britain kind of like not worry, but I'm still going to get all these other benefits, and it's going to be awesome. And then the Ottomans backed out. And then playing into that even further, the Two Sicilies decided to just stop being my protectorate. It just suddenly happened. They had some kind of event, and I was like left holding the bag. So, all right, scratch that. Go back to here, to July 1857, and I'll just conquer Parma. I won't make a protectorate out of them, and the Ottomans join in, and I try a different combination. I don't push too hard, thinking maybe I scared them with all those demands I had, and then they still back down. So I got nothing here. This is I'm just gonna take it. Just gonna take it, and then I'm gonna work on getting a protectorate over Tripoli here, and incorporating Egypt and Sardinia and Belgium, make them part of the French whole. Because again, I can't really do all the fun stuff that is going to be in the next DLC with this. But yeah, so that's the plan. Ottomans are going to back down. But by doing so, they actually remain strong, and because Russia doesn't really like me all that much, they see me as a potential threat. So do the Austrians. They hate me, and the British see me as a threat. In fact, these guys say they see me as a target of conquest. If their army ever gets bigger than mine, I'm toast. But they won't, because they're Spain. Anyway, these guys, they don't like me anyway. So maybe it's for the best that I don't go adventuring the Ottoman Empire, and they decide they have to start beating me down. But yeah, if we take a look at how the Russians feel, they don't like the British, and the British don't like the Russians. So maybe not, again, more reasons to just, leave the Ottomans where they are. And if the British and Russians are cool with that, I'm cool with it too. I don't need them. I don't. Not now. Not yet. And yeah, we got to do something about these Germans here, because they did make a terrible map. The only way to fix that is if they unify. And if they unify, they start a unification play, they're going to take Alsace-Lorraine. And you can pry that out. You can pry Alsace out of my cold dead hands, Germany. No, it ain't happening. It's just forget about it. But if they start a unification play, it won't include Bohemia. This is an interesting thing. And maybe if the creator of the PEC mod is listening, and I think you are, hi, maybe a quick note that if you have like zero connection to the external market, like Austria does, is no connection to the Russians, it means you're isolated, and you might be able to just declare independence and get away with it. True, if the Prussians decide to side with Austria on that, they can, beat them back in. But if they don't side with Austria, checks away. So yeah, that's a thought. Majority, some population that is not accepted, and there's no connection to the main market, bust loose. Yeah, that's an idea. Anyway, back to the game here. How am I going to role play this as France? Well, I'm going to have a successful grab on Parma, and then we're going to successfully take Tripoli and bring them into the French family O nations, and we're going to dig a Suez Canal. Use a lot of forced labor in Egypt to do that. This is great. It's amazing how you can become so Eurocentric in your views, or it's just so country centric in your views as you play it. You really get tunneled into that. And although this guy right here wants to be a citizen of the world and all that, when I'm playing a game, it's like, hey, how dare you insult France like that, my friend? France is bigger than you. And taking things over, using forced labor. It's never stated directly in here, but it is implied. If you have a colony, it's rough times. Horrible things happen in India. And because of that, and the British are taking over more India, and they've made the Raj a puppet, this is scary. Their population is increasing because they're incorporating large states, and they're getting huge economic benefits from a tighter control of India. As France, I've got to find a place where I could match the Raj, punch for punch, and that's not going to be in Latin America. I know historically around this time period, France was looking at, again, being the leading light among Latin nations and working on Latin America to invest in them. But this is different. This is different. We don't have a Crimean War. We don't have a way of England and France working together against Russia. France will get a diplomatic triumph against Sicily, but it needs there's always an underlying current of, are we good enough in French history during the whole 19th century? The birth rate is low. What's wrong with us? They have an emperor, then he surrenders at the Battle of Sedan. They go, what's wrong with us? They're always questioning what's going on, and then the answer is always, we got to have a foreign policy smash. We need to conquer something. We need to, be big. That even if we don't have a bigger population, we bring in more population and we put them under arms, and then our army is just as good as anybody else. Which it was controversial because the Germans were saying things like, when they fought French soldiers from Africa, they thought that's just playing dirty. You should just use your own French. Well, you getting all these guys from Algeria, man, and that's not fair because we don't have an Algeria. And they were like, it was, they had these huge articles about the French need a smaller army because that's how it should really be. Oh well, too bad, Germany. Hey, look, you won the war anyway, Germany. So whatever. But using those colonial troops is important, except that's not going to really do it compared to how big the British army can be given they got India. So why am I keep focusing over on China? Let's go to a population map. And this would be where France is looking. If they want to even the tables with Britain, and they don't see them as an ally, not yet, and after a couple other things are going to happen, I see the future because I've already played and done some save games. After seeing the future, I know the French are still going to be thinking about and talking about, writing about how China would benefit from French leadership. The same kind of garbage that the Japanese said about taking China and making it better with their leadership. I would see the French doing it this time to justify a colonial adventure there. Now, the U.S. was ready to stop European nations when they were getting ready to start carving out pieces of China, just as they had done with Africa. The U.S. was a larger nation. It was industrialized. It had interests on the Pacific. It was able to stand up and say, we're going to have an open door policy in China, and everybody's going to agree to that. U.S. had a big enough army and navy at that time in 1900, around that time, and they also had an empire that they had taken from the Spanish and made their own, that other nations realized, okay, yeah, what the U.S. is requesting is not all that bad. We get to have economic power in China. We just don't get to carve it up as a nation. All right, we'll just carve it up economically and be like that. And the U.S. is like, okay, as long as you let everybody play, compete against you, that's fine. Free market. And they say, oh, yeah, it's a free market. Sure. Yeah, it's free. It was free between the Europeans, but Chinese got coerced a lot. Sorry. That's a horrible thing that happens. let's just move on because we know it's horrible. Okay, but this is where China wants to go. How's it going to get there? Not going around Africa. It needs coaling stations. It could have one here in Ivory Coast and Senegal, but that's a long way around to this little island here in the Indian Ocean territory, and it's frankly not big enough. No, no, no. France will dig the Suez Canal, and once that is done, if it has influence here, use it. If it's already conquered a small area, it'll take it. If it or whatever, or if we have to conquer one, we'll do it. But pick up something here, use it as a base, so we'll have Egypt down to Eritrea, and then Pondicherry, and then Brunei or Indonesia or Great Nam, something out here that we can sail to and use as a base for attacking China. That's the geopolitical goal. Well, let's take a look and see how that goal actually pans out here. Let's go to the next save game, please. All right, it's 5 years later, and you notice there's a lot more in the world that is French-colored, including the Dutch East Indies and the Netherlands and Luxembourg. And it's kind of hard to tell because Prussia is almost the same color as France. I've tried to change this around, but apparently the French Empire is locked in right now. Oh, well, if we become the French Republic, we'll be fine. Or if we just take Prussia apart, and we'll be fine. It's fine. But right now, yeah, what happened then with the Netherlands? Well, there was a little war, and I believe the East Indies were trying to break a war. Or no, it wasn't the East Indies. There was something happened, and I remember. The Dutch were at war with the Portuguese over this little spot of Borneo here. Portuguese have been expanding. Can we zoom in on what the Portuguese got here? They have made a dominion out of the Sultanate of Kutai. They have a protectorate over Transvaal, and and then they conquered this part here of Borneo. The Portuguese are on the up and up here. Well done, Portugal. Just try to not let your blue get any more like my blue. It's confusing. It's already almost the same blue as the Brunei blue, and if I conquer Brunei, then we're going to have a very blue island. It's, I don't know. May have to fight the Portuguese later on. But anyway, yeah, so the Portuguese went to war with the Dutch, and I said, can I join? And they said, well, we don't have anything to give you, but you can have a war goal. And among the war goals was establish a protectorate over the Netherlands. So I did. It was only 10 infamy. It was lovely. And since then, I've incorporated the Egyptians, the Belgians, the Piedmontese, and I'm working on that Suez Canal. It's almost done. I've got 75 weeks to go, so about 2 more years. And then we've already got our East Asia holdings, or Southeast, here in Indonesia. Sumatra, Java, that'll be a perfect base for going up against China. Perfect there. We should work on our Navy, and I am expanding. They're already coming in. We've got another. These guys are all built out. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, we'll work on that. We are in an economic bust. Thank you again, Political and Economics Mod. I now have. My country's going through a depression. This is awesome. I mean, well, this is terrible, but it's awesome as a game player. Yeah. And I had to deal with the Amazigh people here getting uppity and deciding that they should have rights and that I should not be discriminating because of their language and culture. Well, I actually acceded to those demands. I want people to be happy about being in the French Empire. Kind of the same way that the Austrians wanted people to be happy about being in the Austrian Empire, even if they weren't Austrian. I kind of want to do that. And if I get a chance to go to multiculturalism, I'm taking it. Because I think that is a very French thing to do. Be cosmopolitan, be metropolitan, everybody. You can speak whatever language you want to speak, just as long as you also speak the French. And that's my terrible French accent. I even hate it. It's okay. So the Dutch are now a dominion. And we still haven't yet had the attack from Prussia. We took this time to build things and drag everything in. We had the brief war with the Netherlands there. Worked out fine. The British, have been incorporating more, and I think they also got like a chunk of Austria there. USA hasn't done anything against Mexico. They're not a political power, or sorry, not political. They're not a Pacific power. So, yeah, once I finish the Suez Canal in about a year or so, or a year and a half, I'll be able to send my fleets out to hit China. Everything looks great. What a wonderful! We're going to have a great Christmas here in 1862, and what could possibly go wrong to spoil it? You may be asking. Nothing at all. Everything's going to be great. There's nothing to rock the boat. The Germans, no way would they go up against our army. We have such a larger army. The Russians and Austrians are calm. The British, they're busy with their world. It's going to be a great 1863. And then 5 days before Christmas, this happens. The Germans launch a unification play. Well, the Prussians do. They're trying to make Germany. And that means a war with France, Bavaria, Württemberg, Hanover, Hamburg, Denmark with Schleswig and Holstein. What could possibly ruin things? Apparently, it's this. And the fact that Russia, America, and England are leaning towards the Germans. Can I get in view there? Yeah, there we are. There they are at the top. You can see them right there. And then underneath that is the two Sicilies. I can't blame the two Sicilies. If they want to get involved, fine. I just don't want the Americans, the Russians, or the British to get involved. Although both America and England have a thumb up for me, so maybe there's something I could offer them that would get them to switch over to my side. That would be nice. But because I think I am not well liked, if I go over here to diplomacy, yes, here I am being not very well. All the Americans like me. The Russians are unknown factor, so it's not they don't hate me, they don't love me, but they don't hate me. And for some reason, the British see me as a threatening force just because I've annexed Belgium and Sardinia, and I'm about to annex the Netherlands and really give them a run for their money on the North Sea, and I've got chunks of the North. Come on, guys, it's nothing compared to what you've done to India and are about to do to Africa. So, yeah, whatever, British, you hypocrites. At any rate, what's the Prussian army look like? 276 plus 93, power projection of 9238. France has got 14,990. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. If I mobilize, I can't help Württemberg or Bavaria right now because they've got this Baden and Tyrol around them. I can't get troops over there. I can help these guys. I could definitely help out the Hanoverians and the Danish. This is all one big front line here. We've got that under control. What am I going to demand from the Germans? What am I going to do? Because they've really ruined my Christmas, and I've got to take it out on them. Well, except I want to do something to them, but I don't want to increase my infamy, because these guys are already leaning pretty heavily towards the old Germans here. What if, for my war goals, I stay away from conquer state and stick with war reparations and liberate country? Let's do that. I'll take war reparations, please, for a gazillion. Those are mine. And if that means I can't bring the other guys in on my side for it, oh well, so be it. And let me add that to the primary goal. If the Prussians back down, they're paying me, along with their getting cut down in size. So all that stuff that they just unified, gone. I don't know if that also means these are going to go, but if it was between 1852 and now, or whatever the end of the war is, and if they're recent enough, then those go back to Austria. And then I've got a problem if the Austrians are hating on me and they get these back. But if Prussia's made weak, then I'll just shift my armies down that way if the Austrians get a little frisky. Besides, I'm doing you guys a favor, Austria, by taking over Italy so they don't revolt and unify and take it away from you. a little appreciation would be nice. But let's do that, and then we'll wait and see until it's time to deal with the other countries to see what they would like to have happen. But one thing I would really like to do, if I add war goal, liberate country, where is, here it is, liberate Rhineland. Rhineland, North Rhine, and Ruhr all go independent that way. That costs me no infamy, and it costs me no penalty hit with other nations, but it creates a buffer state between me and Prussia. And if Prussia loses all of its Hessian territory and all of its Saxon territory, if I also free Westphalia and cut them loose, then I won't share any border at all with Germany or Prussia or whatever they are. And they lose this entire region. Hesse's over here, Baden gets cut free, Hohenzollern, they become independent there. But yeah, the next area over will be Prussian Brunswick and out in this area. That would be it. They'd be away from the Rhineland completely. I appreciate that. I want to see that happen. That'll be my plan. Unfortunately, it's still 5 years into this depression. 5 more years. I don't know when it's going to end. I've lowered interest rates. I'd like to lower them some more. We do have some. Nope, can't anymore. We're already at the. Well, no, I just recently. No, we are. Well, anyway, I've decreased interest rates. Hopefully, that brings us out of the business bust. Always lower interest rates if you're having a bad economy, and then raise them if it's booming. So that way you get ready to lower them again when you have the bad economy. Something to think about. I have had some increase in confidence, so hopefully we come out of this depression soon. I would really like that because it's really hurting my tax income. I'm going to have to raise them significantly to get through this war. And, oh boy. Yeah. Well, let's come back to this once we see where the other countries stand once we get to the negotiation phase. And I'm going to mobilize some forces and put them on the front lines. Catch you in a little bit here. Well, we found out we have a really big ammunition shortage here. We're building a lot of ammunition as a result. Now we are ready to bring in other people to play. Let's do that. I don't know why they were lined up on this side, because now they've straightened up here in the center, and we can definitely bring in the British and the Americans. Let's see what the British price is. I'm not happy about it, but if we can make them happy so they don't get against us, that'll be good. And if they can work against the Russians or anybody else, superior. Sway with transfer states. They want something I have. Well, if it's worth it, we may just let it go. They don't want any of these. These are all thumb down. Pondicherry, that's my base in India. Well, we should be able to get from East Africa to Indonesia without having to stop over there. I could let it go. And then that's it. There's nothing else. So I give you guys a little tiny spit of India, and you're on my side to help me out here? Okay. We got that. Let's hit unpause and pause. And United Kingdom has sided with the French Empire. All right. Thank you, British. You're so good looking today. Okay, that's them. Let's now get the Americans here. Oh, wow. They're even more leaning towards us. I bet because the British are involved, they want to jump in too. Ooh, transfer subjects, transfer states, obligations. I don't know if I want to give them an obligation on me, because they could use that to force me into an alliance or something that I'm not ready for. And I don't know about transferring states. They probably want. Let me take a look there just to see. Thumb down, thumb down, thumb down, thumb down, thumb down. Thumb up on Senegal and Cuba. Right there. And it's thumbs down all the way rest. I don't really want to give up Cuba or Senegal. So let's look at transfer subjects. You want either Libya, Cuba, the Republic of Cuba, which is like half of Hispaniola. There was a revolt in Haiti. I had to pick a side. The one that said, "I'll be your subject." That's my boy. We backed them. Kingdom of the Netherlands, no, you can't have that. Tuscany, no, you can't have that. Tahiti, I'm not really using Tahiti right now, but then again, coaling stations in the Pacific, I'll keep that. You guys get to have Republic of Cuba. You can have half of Hispaniola. How about that, guys? Let's pause and unpause. Oops, there we are. And, oh, the Russian Empire sided with Prussia, but the U.S. sided with France. Okay. Well, this war is getting really spicy. What's the Russian Empire look like? Wow, 14. Oh, their army is as stoked as mine. Fortunately, I'm mobilizing some troops. Or at least I thought I was. Yeah, they're getting there. Oh boy, but I got the British and Americans with me as well. Let's start adding war goals. And let's make sure that these are ones that don't get busted loose here. All right, we're going to start with liberate Rhineland. And we're going to focus on Germany. I don't want to deal with the Russians here. Let's add that to the primary because I don't have a lot of other things I'm going to ask for. I want to make sure that happens. And then let's liberate country. Show me Westphalia on this list here. Well, no, we got Waldeck, Hohenzollern, Mecklenburg, Schaumburg, Lippe, Hesse, Kassel, Schwarzburg, Saxe-Weimar, Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, Saxony, Ulmer, Medenberg. A lot of fun stuff. Ooh, well, that's interesting. Wait, what about Lippe? Ah, here it is. We'll get all of. Will it be all of Westphalia? It's highlighting the entire state. Well, I don't have Westphalia as an option because Westphalia would also get Nordrhein and Rhineland, or the East Rhine rather, which I've now put into Rhineland. So let's go ahead and let's just roll the dice. And if we can get Lippe to be broken free, perfect. Let's do that. And we have 15 left. We'll add that to our war goal. We're done. Wow. Let's get. We've already. Yeah, poor guys there. Hopefully these guys will be able to bust their way in. Let's add. Oh wow, what else can we do here? Well, wait a minute. He can actually go over here. Let's do that. Now he's led by General Francois Achille Bazin, or Bazaine, or whatever. Anyway, he was actually one of the generals in the Franco-Prussian War, and he got beat real bad. But in this game, he's going to be awesome, isn't he? I hope. All right, so we've got him moved over. The second army here. Okay, he could also make it if he wants to. But let's keep him over here. Let's expand him with Amibel Chartier. He's a stalwart defender, and he's bigoted. That's what we want to see in our commanders. Let's add that up there. Give him some promotions. Let's add 2 more staff generals to him. I like a surveyor who's arrogant, and I like a mountain combat expert who's imperious. I don't need expensive tastes right now. They can command up to 248. So that means I can add another. Let me get some conscripts on them, and once I have that taken care of, we'll see where we stand once the war kicks off. I'll be joining you in just a little bit here. I have a significant development, not in the war itself, in this little thing up here. The British want a trade deal. We accept, absolutely. This will increase our relations with them over time, make it work out better for us. So when we start conquering China, it's not going to be as big a shock, and they may not intervene against us. Oh boy. Well, still we're waiting. We're barely into this here, but we'll see. We'll let this develop some more here. It does not look like the war is going to be called off. The sides are committed full in. Let's take a look at what the actual stakes are in here. I want Kingdom of Prussia cut down to size, get war reparations, give them, and then liberate Rhineland and Lippe. Hopefully that'll be the entire state there. If it's just a little thingy, oh well. They are worried though. I like that part. I like them being worried. They have got 797 mobilized. We have got 940 mobilized. I'm getting all of my conscripts going here. That gets me up to 19,000. They're all being called up to duty. Each army that I have in the field, I've got not each army, but still, I got armies, and they're bringing in all the conscripts. They're going to be increasing in strength over time. We are researching hand-cranked machine guns. That's going to give us additional offensive power. We're going to keep working on military technology during this time. We just absolutely gotta, but we have good universities for that. We're at maximum taxation. We are still losing 331,000 a month. It's outrageous, probably because ammunition is so expensive, but we're also, we're so close. 12 more weeks and our munition plants come online, and then we can start making the stuff ourselves and it'll be cheaper. Germany, obviously they want to unify with all this and pick up Alsace. Is there anything else on their thing? Just unifying. Everything is just unifying. All right, so that's all they want. Just a unification play. I am not worried about the 9, and -5 here, because if this little 9 is able to break through to Baden, and let's go ahead and say that's a strategic objective right now. Take Baden. If we do that, then these two fronts will combine, and that -5 and that 9 will average out. Also, we have this superiority here. If we can drive them out of the Elbe front, then this army goes over to this front and we begin to proceed forward. It would also be something where, if these guys are driven out, we could consider using the Escadre du Nord to do a naval invasion of where the Russians have a little capital called St. Petersburg. I know from the study of the Crimean War that the naval forts they had in the Baltic and this little area here, the Gulf of Finland, they were very poor. And we're going to come in not with 1850s level military, but 1860s. Monitors and ironclads did extremely well against Russian naval positions in the Crimean War. They devastated them. That's what I've got. That's my fleet. We sail in there, we'll sail right past those forts, drop an army on the Winter Palace here, or the Summer Palace, whatever palace it is there, we're dropping an army on it. We're taking over, and it'll be done here. Yeah, what was the name of the place here? Montplaisir, that's what Peter the Great called it there. Yeah, Peterghof, that's where we're going in, and we're taking it over. Yeah, and let's see what they think about that. So once we've done, if we can do that, we knock the Russians out of the war, and then the superiority here really shifts in favor of the Allies, France, England, and America. Oh, I love how that sounds. The Allies. We are the Allies, and they are the jerks. That's what we're calling them. The winners get to write the history book. If we win, we're calling them the Jerk Coalition, because they did a jerk move. That's it. It's Allies against jerks. I like that. We're not giving. Why should we let them call themselves anything with dignity? No. They are the poo-poo heads. They are the That's it. The coalition of All right, let's unpause and let's have things go here. And boom, King of Prussia. Oh wow, look at all these that are now dormant supply. Or wow. Okay, let's start. Wow, hey, we can get some money if we start canceling these. All right, let's go ahead, go through all the ones that are not making money and are dormant, get them cleared out. Oh my gosh, 495 a week. We have shortages of everything. Whoa, we do? Oh wait, sulfur I can fix. I can get you some sulfur if you need more sulfur there. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. And do we need more coal while we're at it? Or do you need more lead? Well, it doesn't hurt. All right, we'll go ahead and do that way there. And just everybody start making everything. Hopefully, the domestic production is going to get rocking with it. And hopefully, also, our Navy here that is doing a little bit of. Oh, bro, you need to raid convoys. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, now that they're raiding convoys, that should help cripple German imports there. Oh, yeah, we had another one that was going out in the Far East. Oh, good. He's coming back to North Africa. I didn't want him to get entangled in the front because I want to hold people back in case they do something. Oh, my gosh. Whoa, we sunk 977 of their convoys. Good job, kids. Yes, that's fantastic. All right. We're doing something here. Looks like we got a battle. Are we going to win it? Are we going to win? We are going to win it. Yeah. Come on. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Let's do this. What about this battle over here? Oh, we're not winning over here, but oh well. Maybe these guys should be. Oh, they're on the advance. These guys are on the defense. Let's go ahead and commit them to the advance then. Just everybody get in there, guys. And the British have got the colony of the Rift Valley. That is super. I'm proud of you, British. You've really done it. And that means also I don't have any India there. And that means also the USA gets to run half of the island of Hispaniola. All right, well, it all works out. Ooh, wow, 51-49. This is good. We should be able to crush them up here, one would think. How's this battle doing? Oh, it looks like we just won it. UK was victorious. All right. And the Tuscans were victorious. And, the battle for Osnabrück is not going our way. No. But what about the battle for Bremen? Oh, that's going the British way. I'll take that. And we definitely see some color over here in Baden. And we got 41-42. Oh, yeah, we are strong. Oh, Zanzibar. They're free. Okay, we can conquer them anytime we feel like it, should we need the rubber, and we should. This is fantastic. We're really blowing them out here. I can't really pull anybody off the front lines for an invasion just yet, though, because we still have to link up the Bavarian front with the Rhine front here. And we have not yet kicked them out of the upper Elbe here, whatever this area is. And they keep trying. They keep getting beaten down. None of that noise. Go over there. Oh, little by little, we shall make Frenches of them yet. I always like doing that. And the Germans are down. Prussians are down to 50%. This is going our way very well. There's a problem in Japan. Guys, just don't even bother me. Clear the star. There we go. Don't even bother me. Okay, thank you, Great Joseon, for siding with somebody there. Oh, this is tense. Because also while I'm building out these munitions factories, I'm not able to build out my Suez Canal. Which would be very nice to have. I kid you not. But wow, we are really... Oh, there it is. We took it over. And now this guy, First Army, naval invade, Ingria, take the big fleet. 15 days. Let's see what happens. And everybody else is shifting around. We're at minus 100, 13, 20, 12. There we go. We're all on the front lines. That's what's important. Some of them are still... Oh, good. They have no, they haven't. We've got a pocket here. Look at there. Look at them. Oh, my days and stars. They are surrounded. They are surroundulated. And how's this battle going over here? We are dealing with some Russian fleets. I've got these little things I want to just clear out. And yeah, for some reason, the Second Army started recruiting more artillery than other troops. So, whatever. Foot soldiers, they're just having a little stumble around. But definitely taken over Baden, unified the front. We've created the pocket there. Brandenburg has fallen. The capital has fallen. Oh my stars and garters here. And there's a revolution in Oman. I really can't be bothered by that. I have a naval invasion I'd like to see succeed. The Russians don't have enough forces here to defend. Once we break through the Navy, they're going to be in some deep trouble. But who will surrender first, the Russians or the Germans? Because the Germans are at minus 24 right now. And now Anhalt is a pocket. Oh, this is a complete collapse here. A complete collapse. The Russian Navy, bless their souls, are still trying to contest. Will it be enough, though? And Anhalt has been reduced. We've now got city of Hamburg is in default. Okay, that's sad. I'm not in default. I'm cool with that. But I'm going to have to keep taxes high while we come back up. That's going to really dent my standard of living, but I've got to pay off this debt so my economy can recover, because we have high volatility and low confidence, and I can't increase the interest rates in these conditions. Yeah. All right. Oh, wow, they're really moving up armies here to defend themselves, which means they're stripping them off of the lines here. 1396 convoys sunk in the Baltic and 312 in the North Sea. The Russians cannot hold on, and the Germans can't either. They're at minus 87. It's going to go all the way, kids. It's going to go all the way. 97. It's going to be done in a week. Yeah. And it's still going to take 46 weeks to build the Suez Canal. I thought it looked like it's almost done, but it's really these guys here taking 3 weeks. And yeah, cut the Kingdom of Prussia down to size, liberate Rhineland, liberate Lippe, and we only got the little Lippe. We didn't get the full Westphalia. All right, pro tip, guys, don't even bother with those. Work on something else. But all of Saxony is now united under Schwarzburg. All of Hesse is united under Waldeck. And these little bits here of Bremen and Oldenburg, they've been cut free. Mecklenburg and Lübeck are back. But nope, it wasn't. These guys were not recent enough to be released. Well, that's good. That's awesome. I don't want them to be part of Austria. Sweetness. Okay. Well, we're still at war with Russia. Hang on here. I just hit unpause and it resolved. Okay. Russia is out of this war. Let's go ahead and take our fleets back home. You can go here, and the Mediterranean will go back to the Med. We need bigger fleets because the British, I don't want them to do to us what we just did to the Germans. And they could, because their fleet is 303 and we're at 199. 86, 10. Yeah. If we get up another 100 ships, our fleet will actually be superior to the British. Yes, because apparently we've got more technology in that area. But wow. That was touch and go. But that's how you do it. If you're already kind of on everybody's naughty list, don't go grabbing other things during a war. Use the things that will just not cause you too much penalty. The free stuff, the reparations, and stripping their country down to little parts and pieces. And in fact, reparations, how much am I getting from Germany? It says diplomatic pacts. Kingdom of Prussia, 28.8K. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Prussia. Although it really should be where you don't get a certain amount every year. It should be a lump sum, and how fast or slow they want to pay it off is up to them. But as long as they're paying you reparations, they can't go to war with you. And if they default on them, then that's a cause for war, and everybody hates them more. Infamy builds up, relations drop. So never default on reparations if you can. But it should be something where we have a slider how much we can set it, like, because that's what they did to each other. The French gave a huge reparation to the Prussians in 1806. The Prussians gave a huge reparation to the French in 1870. And then the French gave one back to the Germans in 1914 or 1919 at the Treaty of Versailles. And then the Germans go back to hitting them in World War II. And then after World War II, they just said, let's just occupy the place and rebuild it. They don't have any money, but we'll keep forces there at any rate. This is a huge victory for Napoleon III. This puts a lot of oomph into his dynasty. They like it. He withstood the advance of the Boche. And once that Suez Canal is built in just under a year, he'll have the political capital he needs to go against the Chinese, especially if the economy gets out of a depression, because we're still in that. But that is looks like it's going to be for another video, because we've been going for about 45 minutes here. Once again, if you're using the political and economic mod, keep enjoying it. It's going to get there's more improvement coming in there. Also, keep an eye out on the although I'm not using the stockpiles mod, the the logistics and stockpiles mod, the creator does have some plans for it once 1.7 releases. He's going to have a quick patch for it and then new features that come with it. So I'd like to see what that looks like once that does come out. Great stuff here coming up in the world of Victoria 3, but in the future, we're going to have to get a little bit of China. Anyway, that's all I have for today. It's still not yet 47 minutes, so I guess I got a little bit of time to talk. How's your day going? Are you having fun? Oh, by the way, I do have a little quick thing here. For anybody who's still listening, you could like, comment, and subscribe. And for anybody who commented on the last video how Ukrainian isn't a language, and you did it with, it's obvious that you're coming in from Russia saying that. Guys, one of them said Ukrainian didn't even exist as a language until 100 years ago. Then why was it that in 1654 the Russian Tsar was issued an edict to ban Ukrainian as a language if it hadn't been around for 100 years? I don't know. Maybe because Ukrainian has actually been a language that diverged from Old Slavic roughly around the 11th century. It's been around for about 1,000 years, if not longer. But that's when we have our earliest records of Ukrainian, and it's a separate language from Russian, totally separate there. They have some common vocabulary, but I have studied both Russian and Ukrainian. They're different enough to be different languages. You can't just say, "Oh, I know Russian, I can speak Ukrainian." Nah, it doesn't. No. So, moral of the story is, if your country has invaded another country and is trying to justify the war, which is really unjustifiable, they're going to create propaganda to make it sound like they're doing the right thing, but they're really not. And the Russians have been doing that since 1654. So we in the West are well aware of things that Russians will say to justify their treatment of Ukraine. Oh yes, they also call them little Russians. A horribly insulting term there. But, this is what they say. Oh, they're not really right. They're not really a different people. They're just like us, and we should take them over. Like, no, that's not how it works. If they don't want to be part of your country, then, too bad. They got independence in the 90s, and that's where it is. You should leave them alone, because that's the nice thing to do. That's the polite thing to do. That's the right thing to do. The war criminal thing to do is to invade them, which is what Russia did. The war criminal thing. And so if you've fallen for the propaganda of Vladimir Putin, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You've got to figure that out yourself. I'm not going to help you there. And if you put any comments in here about Ukraine that are dissing on them, I'm going to delete them, because they're not really worth it. You say, what's your source? You go look up your sources. You go look up the sources that prove it, because I know they're there. And if you can't be bothered to find them, then if I post the sources, you're going to say, oh, well, that's just really not anything, or you're not going to read it or whatever. You go look it up. You should doubt what the propaganda from Vladimir Putin is telling you if you think there's a justification for the Russian attack on Ukraine. And that's it. I'm out of here. Just responding to some viewer comments that I've deleted, and I'll keep deleting because it's just nonsense. Anyway, have a nice day. Oh, I've gone over. That's because, I really just don't even know when to stop talking. We'll just let this world spin around, and it's actually going backwards, by the way. Think about it there. Yeah, we'll let the world spin backwards, and then eventually I'll hit the stop recording button, and then I'll be able to stop recording, and then you won't have to hear